These must be the missing soldiers.
Murdered. Shit.
We should see that their families are notified.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hessarian. Seems there's a way to challenge their leader.
Hessarian's blade is supposed to represent mercy, not random slaughter.
It looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
severely wounded. Not enough bandages.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time. If you'd like to see what the Bull's charges can do for the Inquisition. We're loyal, we're tough, and we... You're the first time... Iron Bull wants to...
Master Lavellen, on behalf of...
A pleasure, sir. We so rarely have a chance to meet anyone new. It is always the same crowd at these parties.
I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of... Some say that when the veil opened...
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by...
Madame de Fer is a fond.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
I've heard very little about you, Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Some of those storytellers may have gotten carried away.
But only for the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sister. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
That's not true. I'm just searching for Divine Justinia's killer.
Of course you are. I'm sure your army is out. If you were a man of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my... You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lord, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first Enchanter of Montsimard and Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to...
His aunt, Alphonse, will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt. And after such a public humiliation, I expect either to make a good end or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
Charmed, Lady Vivienne.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasantries. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
Is your interest in the Inquisition Madame de Fer, or is it more personal?
Aren't you charming? It's professional, of course.
You say you led the
To the people of Thade, we have not forgotten. I support any effort to restore such order. The chance to meet my enemy, had she lived. I support any effort to We need an institution to protect and nurture man. And I'm a mage of no small talent. Will that do? It is now the duty of every mage to... Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so much. I support any... The chance... Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so...
You are...
The chant... Once the Inquisition has sealed the breach, I support any effort to restore such order.
The Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivian.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
We can get that for you right away.
You can't eat a sword. Beans. Did you need something? I've nothing to report at them.
You've never been to a circle, as far as I can tell, yet you're remarkably skilled. Were you self-taught?
The Dalish have their own traditions, you know. The Circle isn't the only authority on magic.
I have heard about the traditions of magic among the Dalish keepers. In my own experience, nothing is more deadly to a young mage, which makes the current state... What do you imagine will happen if the circles are not restored? Do you foresee the Dalish taking us all under their wing?
The Circle had plenty of problems.
I wish more people... Justinia's death. If it is not... Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
That's why you wanted to be here.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
If that's true...
I suppose we'll... I've stolen... Yes?
Is there an...
After this... I've received news that some tomes have been...
I don't have time.
A pity. Yes? I've received... Yes? Of course. What do you wish to... The same is true of people everywhere. And there is comfort to be had, you know, in the perhaps too permissive. Rather than dissolving... I could name myself Grand... But the when... So long as they had their freedom, we would have done better to a war. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the... Yes? Whatever would you like to know? I was sent to the Ostwick Circle when the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. She passed away from a fever a few years ago. In such troubled times as the...
Do you think that you and I might, someday...
You and I? Don't be absurd, my dear.
Chargers! Stand! So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you could make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
Iron Bull, I presume.
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra? But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
All right, you're in.